I was thinking a lot about car stuff, having had some work on my car lately, and I thought about how I had a discount with my insurance company, car insurance, and I was no longer a counselor, and I thought this discount they gave me was because of my occupation. So I called them and I let them know that I was no longer working as a counselor, and they said they'd look that up for me and see what the discount was. And it turned out just to be that I had a master's degree and that's what the discount was for. And since it was in counseling, I must have associated it with that kind of work. So I got to keep the discount, and I didn't have that lingering feeling of guilt. While talking to them, I try to clear up guilt wherever I can, because I find that if there's anything that I feel out of integrity with, then I tend to attract negative experiences, and then if I feel in integrity, then things seem to be pretty easy. So that's what motivated that. But while on the phone, the representative, who was very impressed and saying, wow, nobody does that, you know, like says when their discount no longer applies or whatever, just that's really impressive, and got caught up in the energy of that interaction, and I ended up getting talked into increasing my liability insurance. I have the lowest insurance possible on my car, and have for a long time, because I've been really influenced by the concept of defenselessness and not attracting what I fear. Similarly, I also am hoping that health insurance does not become required in this country, because I've been able to afford it for 7 or 8 years and have chosen not to, because I don't want to act as if I am attracting illness. I believe that if I take care of the minor aches and pains and things that arise and understand what their meaning is behind them in terms of what might be out of alignment for me emotionally or psychologically, then I can stay healthy. So with my car, I've always, had the lowest insurance possible for the same reason, not wanting to attract it being stolen, not wanting to attract it being, hurting another person or that kind of thing. But then I heard about earlier today, that for only $5 a month I could increase the liability from $30,000 to $100,000, which means that if I hurt another person, that would be $70,000 extra of coverage. And so I thought, $5, sure, and, but then afterwards I just started to, have this uncomfortable feeling about 5-10 minutes later, and I had to call back and cancel it because it just didn't feel right. It wasn't a matter of like the extra $5 a month hurting me financially so much as just, what am I communicating to the universe by choosing to prepare for injuring somebody so bad that they need $100,000 worth of medical care instead of only $30,000, the minimum. So I just felt like, okay, this is about energy and not about finances. And I did a little, I have a software program that is randomized that says yes or no, and it verified that I should go back to the minimum amount, and I did. And I also thought about how that extra $70,000, to get an extra $70,000 in benefits at $5 a month, I realized that's 14,000 months, and that's over 1,000 years. So insurance companies only make money if you do not utilize their services. And so in other words, there's a good chance that in the next 1,000 years, and since I'm into physical immortality, I might be around that long, I will not have such an experience. And I drive a lot less than most people as well, so it's really unlikely for me. And I might drive more in the future, but for now, it just, a 1,000-year period it would take at $5 a month to add up to $70,000, the amount. So what that means is, it's not likely to happen anyways, just without bringing in the spiritual concept of attracting what you fear, and you know, focusing. Where do you want to place your focus? Do you want to focus upon what might happen, what illness might I develop, or what kind of things could happen in my car? But I think that if you remain mindful while you're driving, and you deal with your emotional and psychological stuff, then your car and your body, you know, will not manifest disastrous situations that require insurance. And I know a lot of people disagree with this because they think of life as happening to them. But I think that the switch that's occurring in terms of, you know, humans discovering a true kind of spirituality that's free of dogma and ritual and any kind of old school religion is about realizing that it is happening from here outward. Our experience is not happening to us by random imposed upon forces, but starting with our relationship to our mind and our values and our beliefs, our experience goes outward. And we can be guided along the way if we're open to it and we get out of our head and just allow ourselves to go with the flow and have a leap of faith. That little bit of time during which I increased my insurance for 15 minutes, I was not practicing my faith. And that was a message to the universe. We have all kinds of thoughts, and I don't believe we attract everything that we fear. If that was true, I would be dead, because I thought 10 years or 12 years ago when I was having a third eye opening that I had brain cancer or something. That's what the pressure was about, and I fixated upon that a lot. And I don't believe every little fear-based thought that comes along becomes manifested. But if we hold on to our thoughts that are negative long enough, then eventually we might develop some illness if we're really focused on that and not willing to have faith that we're here to be healthy and here to journey in a very positive direction. So communicating on the level of thought to the universe is one thing, but action, whoa, that's big. What our actions are really defines us even more powerfully than the kind of cornucopia of thoughts that we go through until we learn to let go of thinking more and more. So an action of increasing my insurance was much more powerful than a thought of, what if I do hit somebody? That would be horrible. And I didn't explain to the insurance representative when I called back to cancel my philosophy. I thought about explaining why I was lowering it, but then I thought, no, I'm just going to cancel it and be done with this interaction. And knowing that their job is to increase fear and my job is to decrease fear, feeling that that wouldn't be a good time to share my philosophy, but perhaps this video might be more useful. Thanks. Bye-bye.